Most men are taught that strength comes from protection. They seek shields, credentials, hierarchies, and titles because these structures promise insulation from failure, judgment, and consequence. But every layer of protection diminishes autonomy. The self-taught man learns early that exposure precedes approval, that decision comes before instruction, that risk precedes recognition. He operates without safeguards. No roadmap, no audience, no witness. It is not a romantic ideal. It is the raw architecture of responsibility. Each choice stands naked before consequence. Most men recoil. They cannot tolerate it. They seek comfort, certainty, reassurance. The self-taught man endures because he has no alternative. He endures because the necessity of internal authority outweighs the seduction of external approval. From exposure comes separation, not at achievement, not at success, but at commitment without safety. Silence emerges, not as a personality trait, not as withdrawal, but as structural necessity. To speak invites interference. Every explanation opens a door. Every door allows another presence to enter your process, your timing, your logic. The self-taught man withholds speech not from fear, not from insecurity, but to maintain integrity. Silence becomes a container. It holds energy, prevents premature disclosure, protects the formation of structure before it hardens. Quiet is discipline made physical. It is not passivity. It is refusal to leak position before it solidifies. The fewer signals broadcast, the fewer opportunities exist for disruption. What looks like distance or hesitation is the architecture of autonomy. The quieter a man becomes, the harder it is for others to reach inside his work, his strategy, his timing. As silence deepens, desynchronization follows. Social timing loses relevance. He no longer learns when the world deems it acceptable. He learns when curiosity demands it. This creates friction. Interests appear late. Insights seem irrelevant. Observations arrive at the wrong time according to societal rhythm. But timing dictated by society is never neutral. It is a control mechanism. Social synchronization aligns behavior, thought, and panic. It keeps the collective moving in unison. The self-taught man fractures this synchronization. He studies when no one is observing. He acts when no market signal validates it. He moves according to internal tempo. Comparison fails. Pressure loses accuracy. Misalignment is insulation. Isolation from the outside becomes protection from within. Independence is cultivated in the absence of applause. Discipline follows, but not the kind trained to perform. Most men depend on spectators, feedback loops, applause, and attention to generate momentum. The self-taught man trains differently. There is no audience, no validation, no reward except the work itself. The repetition of effort ceases to be performative. It hardens. It becomes precise, colder, less emotional. There's no rush to demonstrate consistency, no incentive to distort effort for recognition. Boring, monotonous, invisible work continues. This creates a rhythm unanchored to mood, environment, or approval. Discipline becomes internal law. Unseen repetition produces velocity within the self that cannot be easily disrupted. Here begins the silent cultivation of influence. Quiet men become dangerous long before the results are visible. Their presence is underestimated because the structure is concealed, not because it does not exist. Identity begins to detach from approval. Most men anchor themselves in response, praise as existence, critique as threat. Self-taught men remove this dependency. Identity becomes internalized. Decisions are no longer filtered through external reaction. Worth stops fluctuating with applause or condemnation. This is profoundly uncomfortable. Approval is addictive. Removing it exposes insecurity, doubt, impatience. Many men return to noise at this point because the silence reveals instability, and the first impulse is to flee. The self-taught man remains. Over time, alignment consolidates within. Identity stabilizes. When approval ceases to be fuel, manipulation becomes costly. Pressure loses leverage. Emotional entreaty fails. A new internal rhythm forms, subtle, invisible, relentless. By the end of this phase, the transformation is irreversible. The man no longer requires comprehension to act. He no longer requires observation to persist. He no longer requires explanation to validate his direction. The foundation of his presence is still invisible, incomplete, unrecognized, yet unassailable. Observers misread him. They see quiet and interpret weakness. They see distance and assume confusion. They see silence and conclude absence of ambition. They do not perceive the structure forming beneath. The absence of noise allows structure to thicken, solidify, and mature. The self-taught man becomes difficult to influence long before the outcome manifests. The most dangerous stage is not loudness, not visible dominance, not aggressive assertion. Danger arises internally. It arises when stability exists without witnesses. When external feedback is no longer necessary for calibration, reaction slows, predictability collapses, leverage dissipates. The man becomes unreadable. Reactions flatten. Emotional cues cease to broadcast intent. Urgency fails to trigger response. The environment is forced to recalibrate. Hierarchy shifts imperceptibly. The self-taught man does not demand authority. He exists as authority. Others must adapt without instruction, without confrontation. Social pressure relies on predictable signaling. Who reacts, who explains, who justifies, who reassures. The self-taught man steps outside this economy. He no longer corrects assumptions, defends decisions, or justifies silence. He creates a symmetry. Others reveal themselves first. They over-explain, over-assume, over-project. He observes without granting leverage. Illegibility is not strategy. It is byproduct. Independence produces opacity. When clarity is optional, control erodes. Influence becomes tenuous. Manipulation fails. Levers anchored in external reaction lose efficacy. The quiet man is insulated by his refusal to perform externally, by his patience, by his internal rhythm. This silence also cultivates selectivity. Networks contract, conversations decrease. Relationships are evaluated for cost, not comfort. Popularity diminishes. Precision replaces exposure. Each reduction protects autonomy. Every connection is a potential vulnerability. The self-taught man accepts social loss to defend internal integrity. Access is liability. Fewer hands can touch process, logic, or emotion. Respect replaces tolerance. Distance replaces familiarity. And within this distance, power matures quietly. Danger emerges not through performance, but through indifference to expectation. The self-taught man no longer performs strength. He doesn't posture. He doesn't threaten. He doesn't justify existence. Power becomes invisible. Witnesses are unnecessary. Structure forms without supervision. Discipline hardens without attention. Identity consolidates without approval. Most men collapse earlier. They return to noise, to reassurance, to validation. The self-taught man continues, alone and unobserved. This continuation is what renders him dangerous, not because he seeks harm, but because he is no longer dependent. Systems cannot predict him. Status cues fail. Emotional levers cannot manipulate him. By the end, something irreversible has occurred. The man is autonomous. His movements, decisions, and presence no longer require consent. He progresses when it serves him. He pauses when it benefits him. Explanations are only offered if they serve position, not validation. He is no longer shaped by reaction, by approval, or by resistance. He exists independently. Autonomy, combined with patience and internal discipline, becomes the most destabilizing force in systems designed to enforce compliance. The loud, angry, ambitious man is predictable. He is manageable. He can be incentivized, coerced, or distracted. The self-taught man requires nothing. He is quiet, not because he is shy, not because he is disengaged, but because the structure is complete internally. By the time his presence is perceived externally, the architecture has hardened. The foundation is invisible, yet unmovable. His identity is no longer negotiable. The system cannot attach. Emotional manipulation fails. Urgency and leverage are impotent. He has nothing to prove. He is rare because few tolerate the path. And he is dangerous because he is no longer dependent. By the time he is seen, the internal system is already complete, and nothing external can undo it.